The shocking truth about why deep-sea creatures get creepier. The deeper you go, what hides beneath the waves is not just dark, it is alien. It is a world we were never meant to see, a place where sunlight dies and life twists itself into shapes that should not exist. As we descend, passing through the sunlight zone, then the twilight zone, then the midnight zone, the creatures we meet grow stranger with every meter we sink. We have sent machines to Mars. We have captured images of distant galaxies. Yet we have explored less than 5% of our own ocean floor. We have walked on the moon. We have landed rovers on Mars. But the deepest trenches of our own ocean, we have barely touched them. This is the story of that hidden world. The sunlight zone. The surface of the ocean blazes with life. Sunlight fuels tiny floating plants that feed fish, which in turn feed everything from coral reefs to whales the size of buildings. This is the world we know. It is bright, familiar, alive in ways we understand. But beneath this brilliant blue surface lies something we have barely begun to comprehend. The twilight zone. Drop below 200 meters and the familiar world disappears. This is where light begins its slow death. Past this depth, the sun's rays are too weak for photosynthesis. The floating forests vanish. No plants remain, no green energy, only a slow, silent rain of particles drifting from above. Fragments of dead creatures, waste, and the remains of things that once lived closer to the surface. Scientists call it marine snow. To us, it looks like dust, while to the creatures of the deep, it is everything. When I first dug into the twilight zone, one thing stopped me cold. The creatures here are unlike anything found elsewhere on the planet. Some have turned entirely see-through, their bodies like glass. In a recent expedition, a team led by researchers at the Schmidt Ocean Institute captured footage of the glass octopus. Its body is so clear that only its eyes betray its presence. The glass squid is even stranger, its internal organs visible through a window in its own skin. Why so many species have chosen this path remains a puzzle. Some researchers suggest it is camouflage, a way to blend into the faint glow of distant light. Others take the opposite path. Instead of hiding, they make their own glow. Bioluminescence, as it is called, lights up nearly 80% of the creatures in this zone. Dr. Edith Witter, one of the world's leading experts on deep-sea light, has spent decades documenting how animals use this glow to hunt, mate, and disappear. The firefly squid is one of the masters of this art. It covers its belly with thousands of tiny light organs, each one adjusting its brightness to match the shimmer of the water above. This is called counter-illumination. From below, its shadow vanishes. It is disguised by light, using glow to disappear into the glow. The midnight zone. Past 1 kilometer, everything changes. This is the midnight zone. Here, there is no day, no night, only a darkness so complete it feels solid. Temperatures hover just above freezing. To us, this would be death in an instant. But here, evolution has done its strangest work. Take the dragonfish. The dragonfish produces red light, a color invisible to most deep-sea creatures, yet the fish can see it. Its eyes contain a chlorophyll-derived photosensitizer that absorbs far red light and passes the signal to its visual pigments. It is a private searchlight, a hunting tool that illuminates prey without giving itself away. Then there are the anglerfish, perhaps the strangest hunters in the deep. The female carries a glowing lure in front of her face, a beacon that draws prey toward her waiting jaws. But her strangest secret is not how she hunts, it is how she mates. Marine biologist Theodore Peach has spent decades studying this process. Males are born tiny, weak, and short-lived. Their only purpose is to find a female, a near impossible task in this endless darkness. When a male succeeds, he bites onto her skin and never lets go. His body fuses to hers. His organs dissolve. Eventually, he becomes nothing more than a pair of testes kept alive by her blood. Not every creature here hunts. Some wait. A whale that dies and sinks to this depth becomes an island of life, feeding scavengers for decades. Scientists like Craig Smith at the University of Hawaii have studied these whale falls, documenting how a single carcass can support entire communities for up to 50 years. Yet even with all our technology, what we know of this zone is fragmented. For every species we have named, researchers believe dozens more remain hidden. The abyssal zone, 4 kilometers down, we reach the abyssal plain. It covers more than half the planet, yet we understand almost nothing about it. No coral reefs, no mountains, only a desert of mud stretching thousands of kilometers. Temperatures never rise above freezing. Food is almost non-existent. Survival here demands strategies found nowhere else. One of those strategies is size. Deep-sea gigantism, scientists call it. Giant isopods the size of puppies crawl across the sediment. Amphipods, normally tiny, grow longer than a human hand. Even the colossal squid hunts here. Another source of life falls from above. A dead whale sinking to the abyssal plain becomes a rare treasure. Within hours, scavengers arrive. Sharks, hagfish, swarms of amphipods. Then stranger creatures move in. Bone-eating worms. They feed on oils locked inside the bones. A single carcass can sustain an entire ecosystem for decades. Then nothing remains but dust. The Hadal Zone. Beyond the abyssal plain lies something even deeper. The trenches, places where the ocean floor plunges into the underworld. This is the Hadal Zone, named for Hades. It stretches down to nearly 11,000 meters. In 2014, a team led by Dr. Alan Jameson at the University of Aberdeen discovered the deepest living fish ever found. Snailfish inhabiting the very bottom of the trench. Fragile, see-through, they look too delicate to exist. Their bodies have no rigid bones. Their cells are reinforced with molecules that keep working under crushing pressure. Amphipods swarm the trench floor by the millions. Fewer people have visited the Mariana Trench than have walked on the moon. Each dive brings back creatures unknown to science. For centuries, we imagined the trenches as lifeless voids. What we found instead is resilience. More than 80% of the ocean remains unexplored. Why do some creatures grow to enormous sizes? Why do others turn see-through? Why does nearly 3/4 of deep sea life make its own light? These are puzzles without answers. They remind us that Earth still holds secrets, secrets worth protecting, secrets worth discovering.